over my polishing stuff before, but I kind of split it up a bit differently. And I don't have all my stuff in one container anymore. I just kind of have like this portable one, which I have just enough stuff in. And this over here, which is just kind of storage and odds and ends and stuff. So, if you haven't seen before, I use one of these little DeWalt things. I think DeWalt's about the only one I know that makes something quite like this. There's another company that makes one out of metal, except the drawers just kind of tilt out. It doesn't spread out like a tackle box like this one does. I guess this one's branded Stanley, but it's DeWalt. It's the same mess. It's an identical thing. How it works is it's just this latch, and the whole thing collapses like that. And then it has a handle around the back, under the lid here, that you use to wheel it around. So it feels a little bit flimsy, but it's really not. It works decent for this type of a thing. So I'm just gonna run through what I have in it and kind of what my polishing setup is. The reason I love it is it's the right size for 10-inch buffing wheels exactly. So I throw them all up against the end here, and just for the sake of how I've set it up is I actually put all new buffs in here just so it would be clean, but these are Renegade buffs, and just from the hard cutters to the soft ones here, which this is like, it's like paper towel soft almost. And then I have one that's ridiculously soft. It's just a cheapo that I found somewhere that's extremely soft, so it's kind of cool. But the rest are Renegade. I think this is an Airway, and it should be. I changed to centerless buffs, which you really don't have to do anything to change to a centerless. You just pop the center out. But I got the safety flanges to be able to use centerless buffs now, so we'll see how I like that. And then in the corner here I have a 15/16 wrench, which is the size of the stud extender for the polisher. And these are the safety flanges I got, which I don't know where you get them besides Evan, but it's a fairly self-explanatory setup. You just pinch the wheel in between. Just the products I have in here. I use my my towels here just as kind of just to put pressure around the whole container so I can slide my bottles in around it and nothing moves. And it's pretty simple. I just use glass cleaner, the bottle here, and then I throw my masking tape over the bottle, and the masking tape rolls all fit in one spot. And I don't use glass cleaner that much, so I just use it to hold my masking tape rolls, because you can't polish the truck without masking tape, or you're taking way too big of a risk. You put it close to anything you touch, and if you burn it a little bit, put a patch on it. You screw with someone's paint, you're gonna have a bad day. So mainly grill shrouds and stuff like that. Obviously hard to do it with polishing rims, but when you're doing headlights and anything around the front end there, you know, deck plate, when it's close to the cab, use masking tape. It's not even optional. I have cleaning stuff in here. I love this stuff. I use it for tire shine too. Works great. If you've seen my other videos in the interior, what this will do to old upholstery is incredible. I absolutely love it. Just a Turtle Wax carpet cleaner thing with the brush. The Renegade all-purpose cleaner. I have no opinion on this stuff yet. I'll have to use it more before I find out if I like it or not. And this is just a half-used bottle of the rubber and vinyl. Some Mother's Back to Black. I've never used this stuff yet, so no opinions on there yet. I still need to find a good use for it. And then some Zephyr metal polish. Pipe Dream, I really love this stuff. Works great on stainless, and I also would use it to clean up after polishing to get the black out of your pits and stuff. Then little things here, scratch remover and 2 different stages of waxes. And that's it for the bottom drawer. Move up. This is getting into a little bit of junk with these 2 boxes, but Vaseline, which I use on dashes on my trucks, and for restoring an old faded dash, I love this stuff. You just rub it out till it has a very thin layer, so thin that you won't get residue, and then it makes the old dash pop, especially if you're in areas that won't get touched a lot. It's great, and it does not seem to collect dust, which I'm kind of surprised at, but so far so good. And then my polisher handle, and I also have a little bar of Irish Spring soap in there for putting stainless back together. A bandana, which if I don't have a respirator or something like that, I'll just use the bandana for my face. And I also have a spare set of earplugs in there, because if you forget your earplugs, you're in for a long day. I kept one of the centers that I knocked out just in case I run into a problem with the flanges. I can pop the center back in. And then 3 different pairs of safety glasses, tinted, kind of tinted and not tinted, but I just got them because they're a 3-pack. But little things like having tinted sunglasses or tinted safety glasses and clear safety glasses, just so you're more comfortable. Little things like that bug you and really affect your performance by as the day goes. I keep my rouge bars in here, and it's exactly the right length for a new bar. I'm not sure what the measurement is, but I'm guessing the bars are 10 inches. I've got 2 different brands in here, but the Renegade brand that's in here works fine. Just the first, second, the color, and the bar for stainless under there. 2 more little things of hand polish. This one cracked on me, so I had to tape it up. And a very small wheel here, which is basically worn out, but it works to get in wee little places, although it's basically shot. And then the cone polisher for getting in wheel holes and little places you can't quite get with the grinder. So that's it for that. And then if we move up to the top, it's my earmuffs. Now I've got a bigger head than most people have, and I have a hard time finding a decent set of earmuffs yet. I'm definitely not promoting every product that I have in my case here. This is just what I'm working with now. I flipped the ears upside down to get a little more length out of them, but it's still barely comfortable. And what I do is I use these and a set of earbuds, wireless earbuds. Actually, I can show them to you here. Which these are just cheap, because I'm probably going to lose them. But the less you have up here, the better. These are plenty big. They're not the biggest, but you definitely don't want ones that have a hard bit really low on the wire, because when you put your earmuffs on, it's going to put pressure on, and they'll be sitting in your ear. You'll put the muffs on, and they'll go doink, and that'll drive you crazy. So ideally, get ones that have the battery in the band between the ears, and have almost nothing at the top. That way you'll be more comfortable wearing these under your muffs. And if you get ones with active noise canceling, you gotta look at your grinder to see if your wheel's spinning. Like, they're so quiet. It's almost too quiet. These are my used rags, and then blue towels, which I like blue towels for cleaning glass. They seem to have enough grit and abrasiveness in them that it works really good. I really don't go crazy with the glass cleaner, just enough to dampen it, and then the abrasiveness really takes care of it. And then in one pass I go till it's dried. That way you don't get spots or streaks. So that's what it is. Also, I got zip ties, and I also have these what they call beetle or wraps, but basically it's like a reusable zip tie. So when you take down stainless off the side of a bunk and there's wiring or what have you, you can get it up out of the way, because if you snag the harness with your buffer wheel, then you're gonna have a grumpy customer. And then sanding discs, I have 40, which you pretty much will never use, up to 1,000 of 5-inch Velcro sanding discs. And then of course the attachment to use the discs here is also a 5-inch grinder attachment, so it fits perfectly in the container, which I'm assuming this is a fairly common format to get sandpaper in. And then yeah, this just fits nicely in there, and you have a nice little pack for your sanding. So that's nice. You just snag that and you're good to go. And then on my grinder, which it kind of fits in here, but it's not quite long enough, and it really bends the cord when you get to the end, so I don't keep it in here. I don't want to leave it in here for a month and then wreck my cord. So that is that. We go over to my extras. Oh, I forgot to throw my gloves in. I would just get thin leather gloves for polishing. The leather will take a burn if you touch the wheel with it. You won't even hardly notice it, but good. Decent set of leather gloves that aren't lined. Make sure they fit nice and snug. If you've got small hands, good for you, but usually I have a hard time finding ones that aren't snug, so it's good. Then in my tub here, I just have the rest of my buffing wheels here, and I wish I could find a way to get my Renegade stuff without them giving me new spritzers all the time. I gotta throw these out. I have a couple of bottles here of the Renegade metal polish. What's it called? Just Rebel Red metal polish. And then my extra jugs, there's vinyl cleaner, and a couple extra of pipe cream, another turtle wax carpet cleaner, a couple spray bottles, another thing of all-purpose cleaner. Again, you can see I'm doing the masking tape trick around the bottle. There'll be some more vinyl cleaner. This is an old thing of aluminum polish that needs to get used up. And then behind that, I've set my rouge bars in here, and there's a couple nubs in there too I need to get used up. Just a big stack of sandpaper, and then this is the wheel that came with my polisher, which is a 7-inch, and then I have these 7-inch wheels for buffing paint. So there's 3 foams and a wool under that, which I'm not really getting into at the moment. Bit of water, and some grease soap and stuff, you know, just in case you're a bit farther from the tap than you want to be. And extra towels, which again I'm just using to keep everything in place. So That's how I'm organized now. One thing I haven't covered yet is tools, but this is 15 minutes, and if you've hung in here for the full 15 minutes, good for you. I'm not gonna try to push this out any longer. But that's my setup. I wanna do more polishing stuff in the future here, so keep an eye peeled for that. Thanks for watching.